Hey, good morning. It's about 7 a.m. in the morning, and what I'm gonna talk about is the morning routine that I have. So I wake up around 6:30. I do little workout, then I go to a shower, then I meditate, then I take a small breakfast and sit outside with my coffee and read a book. So I read a book every day, about 30-40 minutes a day, and that's why I'm waking up so early. The first thing I need to do is to read a book to concentrate to get my mind straight, and then after that I'm gonna do the daily journal that I do daily, um, and yeah, that's my morning routine. Um, Tell me what is yours. It's be interesting to hear. So in the first section, I'm actually writing down, freestyle, whatever comes to my mind, and then just some organization things that I'm thankful for today, my goal, my overall goal, a big goal, and 3 steps that I must take today towards the fulfillment of this goal. I usually set this goal once every month, and I'm trying to move it with the daily most important tasks for the day at hand. So let's get started. So the point of this whole series that I'm doing is to show you the right way to kind of program your apps. So instead of having an idea, then spending so much time or money in developing an app and then releasing it, and nobody wants it or nobody buys it or you don't have a business behind it, uh, we're gonna do everything the right way. We first gonna validate the business idea, we validate the market, we validate if anybody even cares about your app, and then we're gonna develop the app. Okay. Okay, just a funny fact. I'm in a post office right now. I'm ready to send this package, and it's a part of the experiment that I was doing. I found out that the action camps that are below 100 euro are very popular in Europe. So I ordered like 5 of them from China, calculated the risks and everything, and this is experiment. This package right here, the net profit is 20 euro that I'm gonna make just simply by filling out this form and sending that. So the first thing I do every week is actually to I look into the App Store, what is hot this week, and I try to install all of these apps. So after I did that, I make a quick review of what these apps are about. For example, Busu is a language learning app. It uses the Tinder-like card designs, combination of listening, speaking, and typing, and lessons are about 3 minutes each. And this one is kind of funny game to train you to run your first 5 kilometers. So very fun, very great idea, kind of taking this zombie apocalyptic game and transferring it into the fitness apps. So this is my first look at this app. So the next step will be go into the analytics and look how much installs they got. So what I did, I looked at this hot this week section of the App Store. I identified some patterns. There are 22 apps, and 6 of them are in the category of education. And more specifically, those apps are about some kind of learning of languages or some kind of card technique to facilitate learning. So this is the thing that I'm going to look into, and there are 2 tools I'm using in order to do that. As first one is called App Annie, gives me general information about the rankings, historical rankings of the app. And the second tool is just plain old Google Play. It tells me how many installs there are overall, how much the in-app purchases cost, so I can kind of get an idea about the business model of those apps. More on that in next video. I go to App Annie, I look at a couple of those apps, I look at the download ranks over the time. I go to the Google Play Store, and there are two pieces of information I'm looking for. First of all is installations, and second, how much it is selling for. So if you look at these installation numbers, and if you look at the in-app purchases, from 5 to 10 million, business model is sound. There's one thing that it tells us: there is a market for this. There's a market for these educational apps, and then I look for opportunities, and one of the opportunity is the Quizlet has the developer API. It allows you to access the database with all these terms and definition pairs, and that's obviously what I'm gonna look into, because I can build an app based on this content. So just a small wrap up what I've been doing today. I identified the apps that were featured on the Apple Store. Then I looked into each of them and identified the patterns. I found out that educational apps are very popular. Then I looked at a couple of them, dig around their installation numbers, their monetization strategy, and I decided I'm gonna build one of those educational apps. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of try to calculate, try to look into the future if it's gonna work. And I'm gonna use this tool that is called KPI Calc. It's free. You can look at my in my bio. I have a link there. And it's very complicated tool, so I'm gonna go one step at a time and try to post each video separately. So it's around 7 p.m. I'm walking with my dog, this little guy, and it's usually a time when I think about the ideas, thinking about app ideas. Just a couple of ideas that I have in my head is, while I'm walking, it would be nice if I have the opportunity also to listen to the words or the cards that I learned during the day. So something to think about, like audio that I could get because the podcasts are very cool. But if I want to learn something like new language, it will be cool to kind of once again listen. It's another way of learning. Aside from the cards. So this is something that is on my mind. I usually use this time to think about stuff like that. See you in the next video. Bye. Hi, so it's 8 p.m. And in the afternoon, and I'm still working because I believe in hard work, and I usually try to learn some new stuff in the evening. Probably some tutorial or some course online that I do, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for a couple of hours now, and we'll get back to you after that. So just finished this learning project that I did for a couple of hours, and the thing was to connect the React app here on the left with a Firebase Insta database on the right. So, and the way it works is every time the database changes, these changes automatically are shown in my app, and vice versa. If I add something like my name here, it gets written in the instant database. So the database, or rather my application, is watching the changes in the database. And the reason why I wanted to learn it is simple. I want to probably start my next app without any server. It's going to be a serverless application.